Hi again, everybody. This is Trig. Welcome to GOZO TV. I want to talk to you today about how to find joy or GOZO through fear, anxiety, and depression. You know, the other day I was standing in line waiting to get my brand new iPhone 6. So happy that I got it. And it was about 5 hours of waiting, but it was worth it. But not only was the phone amazing, but maybe even on this episode, maybe she'll be watching. I met an amazing friend. Her name is Samantha. And again, I hope that she maybe can watch the show. And we got talking about how to find GOZO, how to find joy in the middle of fear, anxiety, and depression. And what I try to usually tell people is that the way to find joy is by getting in touch with three things. I call it ACL. Kind of like your ligament in your knee. You know, if you're an athlete and you tear up your ACL, those painful times where you can truly, after time and recovery and a lot of things, you can really have a stronger knee. Well, I use those three letters to talk about adventure, crisis, and love. So as I was talking to Samantha, I asked her, Samantha, what is your adventure? And she thought I was asking her what is her passion, you know, what is her dream? And she immediately said, you know what? I really don't know what my passion is. In fact, she said, I'm sort of a bit lost right now. I think she was 22, 23, studying in school, faithful, having a job, has a boyfriend, you know, getting her iPhone 6, so she's having a good time. But she wasn't really sure what her adventure was. So we got talking, and so I said, well, think of a time where you felt the most at peace, the most like on fire, like this is the true me. Maybe something when you were a little girl, maybe something when you were in high school, maybe something even in the last week. She thought about it for a long time and she still couldn't come up with anything. And before that though, like maybe just when we first got in line, we got talking a little bit and she told me that she loves basketball. She used to play on the basketball team in high school. And so thinking about that, I said, well, tell me a time when you were playing basketball that you felt like it was the best moment of your life. And she thought about it, and immediately she told me that there was this one game, they were down by like 10. And I think it was right before halftime. She said she grabbed the ball and she shot it from like mid-court and she made the basket. And she said that it wasn't like a winning shot, but that not only was she pumped because she made it, but her whole team was so pumped because it gave them hope. Like, you know what, maybe we can win this game. It ended up that they lost the game. But you know what, it didn't matter because to Samantha, and to the team, that was an amazing moment. And for her, she felt like that was really like one of those adventurous, risk-taking, just pure moments of just risk and joy and adventure. And what was hard is, she was trying to think about a time in the present where she was living that kind of adventure, and she just, again, couldn't come up with that. But what was so powerful about that moment is that it gave her an example or something to basically kind of like launch from so that she could continue to live in that adventure. You know, sometimes, most of us, I think, we forget what our adventure really is. We forget those moments when we took the winning shot, or when we wrote that first book, or we wrote that blog. We forget, why we got into business to begin with. We forget why it is that we started a nonprofit, because we're inundated by life and bills and stress and anxiety. But the first and the most important, I believe, component of living a life of GOZO in the middle of fear, anxiety, depression is to get in touch with your adventure. So what I told Samantha is what I want to tell you. So first is go back and find that experience. And maybe it'll take you hours. It might take you days. It might take you months for you to remember. But think back on that hair on fire experience. For me, it was helping my dad build a driveway when I was 12 years old. For you, it could be something in college. It could be something, again, that happened when you were young, where you felt like this is just so natural. And yeah, of course, people have told you all kinds of stuff since, and there's even some self-hate, but don't think about that at this point. Think about the adventure. And so the second thing, after you think about that, is to write it down for 11 days. So every morning at 8 a.m. or 6 a.m., or maybe it's at 9 p.m. or 11 p.m., whenever you have that reflective time, write down the adventure as detailed as possible. So for Samantha, it would be, I took the ball and I felt it. I gave one dribble and it came back up a little too strong. So I had to shift and grab that ball. I looked up at the clock. 3, 2. I looked at the ball once again. I saw the basket. 1. With all the strength and the sweat pouring down my face, I threw the thing even one-handed. 1. Bah! Scored. I made the basket. And then I saw all my teammates rush, even though it was halftime. It wasn't even the end of the game. And they just embraced me. And I saw the face on this one girl who was really down. And her face had changed completely because I had taken that risk to shoot the ball fearlessly. And it changed everything. It changed me. It changed her. It changed the whole team. And that's powerful, isn't it? Because it has all the detail. You know, it's hard sometimes to even get back into those moments. But I want to encourage you again, write it down for 11 days. At the end of the 11 days, I want you to then get in touch and communicate and let's engage. Write me an email, trig@davidtrigg.com, or tweet me at davidtriggla. Or you can just comment on this video on YouTube or wherever you're watching this and give us an update on what your adventure is. And if you're struggling to come up with anything, just write that down and just say, God, I can't think of anything. Help me to think of that adventure that you want me to live. So that's the number one step. And so in the next few episodes, GOZO family, I'm going to tell you about the second and third steps, crisis and love. Have a great rest of the day. Please go ahead, send me those emails, tweet us your thoughts, tweet me kind of what your adventure is, as detailed as possible. Maybe write it down on your Facebook page or on your Facebook timeline and then just share it. Share it with me, David Trigg, on Facebook. And just let us know as a GOZO Nation community, what is the adventure that you once had that's going to help you live a life of joy and GOZO amidst and regardless and in spite of fear, anxiety, and depression today. Have a great rest of the day, GOZO Nation. I will see you next time.